That's Steven Peterson back here in the program. It's been a while since we've had him on. Last time we chatted was back in the LFA days when he was still fighting for them. Now moved over to the UFC. Obviously, your first fight in. What's different besides the letters on the moniker of the guys you got to fight? What's different right now, knowing that you're going to the biggest show?
I'd say the dollar amount, what I'm getting paid. As far as the fight goes, it's the same thing. It's a scrap, man. I've been fighting all my life. It's just another day. The way I see it, nothing changes. Just more people watching, making a little bit more money. But same thing I've been doing.
Do you feel like because you're now in the UFC and the way that things have been going, getting ready for this fight, that you don't have to do as much hype as you have done in the past? Like before other fights, you would have to do a lot of hype. You get a lot of eyeballs. You get people to want to watch you on Friday and Saturday nights. Now at the UFC, they got their own kind of machine. It just kind of takes care of itself. Are you still pushing hard to be one of those hype guys, one of those guys that really gets people interested in your fights?
No, the fight will speak for itself. Before it was all about selling tickets so I can make my money. At LFA, smaller shows, you got to sell the ticket.
So guys, yep. Sorry, it looked like we lost you there for a second, but yeah, like you were saying, is like you had all the hype is for selling tickets, and then for this time you don't have to. Has it made training more fun then? Because you're not worrying about if I don't sell 200 tickets, I'm not going to make enough money. It's like you don't have that extra worry any longer.
Yeah, much less pressure. People still ask me about tickets. I'm like, go online, get them. I don't have to meet up with people and worry about counting tickets, counting money. It's a lot of stress, unneeded stress. But now I just get to focus on the fight and the task at hand.
So, how's your weight right now?
Oh man, I'm on point. In the UFC, I told them I want to be at featherweight. I'm getting older. It's getting tougher and tougher to make that weight. It's not healthy for me.
Right.
That's the most important thing is my health. And I feel like I'll be a better athlete at 145. So. I'm walking around about 155. After my workout, I was 153 this morning. Oh, nice. So weight cut's not going to be an issue whatsoever.
What do you want to weigh the week of? You get in there on Tuesday night. What do you want to weigh that week before the fight?
Right where I'm at. I'm trying to stay right where I'm at. I'm used to cutting about 15, 20 pounds the week of the fight to make the bantamweight division. But, I'm right where I need to be. Like I can make 45 right now and feel good. So just maintaining where I'm at and pushing my conditioning really.
What's interesting is that I talked to Josh Berkman, who's also on your card, and he said the same thing. He was at 55. He's moved up to 170, went up from lightweight to welterweight, and said pretty much the exact same thing. I'm a better fighter. I'll be better. It's a lot less stress having to worry about this weight cut. And it seems to kind of be a theme that's going on a little bit. A lot of fighters, a lot of the higher level fighters now are like, I have a choice of 3 different weight classes, but I'm picking the one that actually is going to make me the better fighter, not the one where I happen to be just the biggest or just the strongest, but the one I would be a better overall fighter. And they pick that one, and usually it's the one. If it's 3 weight classes, then they pick the one in the middle, and if it's 2 weight classes, they always pick the heavier one. How did you come about this decision? Was it something you sat down with your coaches, or were you just like you made weight the last time against Dustin Winter, LFA 28, and you were like, yeah, this is it, man. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, when I fought Benito on the show, I made weight without issue, but it took a lot out of me, and it has been for the last few fights. I feel like it almost even takes out of my conditioning because the day before I'm so drawn out. And in the UFC, there's no IV rehydration allowed because USADA in and out of competition, no IVs whatsoever. So. That was a small part in the role, but just getting down there, it's tough. It's tough on my body, and I don't want to die in a sauna. You know what I mean? That would be tragic. And I hope more fighters catch on and start fighting at more natural weight class.
It's definitely going that way. There's definitely guys who are getting smarter. They're getting more scientific. Obviously with the UFC Performance Lab in Las Vegas, a lot of guys now are realizing that, hey, they're going to this performance lab to learn how to cut weight better, and the guys are telling them, you got to go up a weight class. It's like you're walking in like, you're not going to, this is just dumb. What are you doing? And so a lot of guys are actually getting smart about it. But with that being said, you're 16-6. It's not too difficult to find a lot of tape on you from a lot of different organizations and see your growth from when you started to where you are now. Same thing with Humberto, your opponent. He's 14-4. There's a lot of tape on him. But have you watched very much of your tape? Or are you still sticking with the game plan of I'm going to worry about me, do what I do, and see if you can catch it?
Yeah, at the beginning of my camp, when I get an opponent, I always look what they're capable of. I look at their wins, how they won, and what their overall game is. But then after that, no more tape on my opponent. It's time to focus on me, focus on my game plan, and what I need to do to basically impose my will in the fight. Because at that point, it's not going to matter what he's done in the past. Because I plan on taking the fight where I want it to go and, fighting my fight.
Did you have to do anything different, or did you do anything different in this training camp? Have you changed up any of your diet or strength and conditioning or anything at all? Obviously you put some weight on because you're allowed to, but you didn't want to go crazy with it. So what else did you do different?
Yeah, not really. Just business as usual. A lot of drilling, a lot of sparring. I just don't have, like when I cut to 35, it's like all cardio all the time. Which also, isn't healthy for, hormone levels, all that stuff. You got to have some strength training in there as well. So now I'm able to do more strength training, and my conditioning is not going to be an issue. I just don't have to, drain myself. Like, 4 weeks out, it's like, oh man, I'm going on 5-mile runs before I train and whatnot. Now I can do more like, high intensity intervals, stuff like that to, just push my conditioning.
And we've talked about this before, but you actually prefer that style of training, that high-intensity style of training, as opposed to those long drawn-out practices. Some guys are different. They like the long drawn-out practices, the long runs. They enjoy that stuff. Obviously, we can talk about the Diaz brothers. They enjoy those long runs. They enjoy that stuff. I just don't see how it would translate for a guy like you doing that long stuff for you to be at your peak. So at right. 45, you're able to do this stuff at high intensity, what you like and the way your body type fits for you. Do you notice yourself coming out of practice a lot happier and a lot more satisfied with the way things went during that practice?
Yeah, exactly. You think about the fight's only 15 minutes. At tops, it'll be 25 minutes if it's a main event or a title fight. Training for 2 hours, that's not going to help simulate a fight. You got to go, high intensity, and then focus on your recovery intervals. So, that's what I've been doing. And, I definitely feel a lot stronger, a lot more explosive, and, just happier at this weight class.
I like it. Steven, thanks so much for coming on here, man. Good luck on UFC Fight Night 126, February 18th. I can't wait to watch your fight, man. I'm going to be glued to the TV watching this thing happen.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fireworks, no doubt about it.
Thanks, bud. Take care. We'll talk soon.
You too. Bye.